world that can be crazy, loud, overwhelming, and often painful. Our church, this group, wants you to know that we are glad that you are here, right now. This is what we've all been waiting for. Get ready, because we start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome to the not so late night show with your host, me, Jim Bullock. I'm the youth pastor at the Heights Church. If you are new, please let us know in the comment section that you were here in the live chat. I am in there, ready to interact with you. If you have any questions, leave them there. I will respond. And yeah, I can't wait to get into this. We have our guest speaker for tonight is someone very close to me. You've heard a story. If you've heard my testimony, you've heard about him. I've shared some stories about him. We'll talk about that a little bit in our interview. It is my best friend, Logan Stoner. After that, we're going to play a game called Justin or Jeremiah. Is it Justin Bieber or is it the prophet Jeremiah for the Bible? See if you get more right than I do, and let us know in the chat. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to our interview with Logan Stoner.
Okay.
All right, guys. Now we have my best friend growing up. If you've heard my testimony, which a lot of you, I guess from like, since I was like 10th grade, he's been my best friend. If you've heard my testimony, you've heard about him. If you haven't heard my testimony yet, it is on our main church YouTube page, and I will link that down below. But he played a big part in my testimony and just me growing more spiritually. And when we talked about accountability, I talked about him a little bit too, about how we have weekly meet or like FaceTime calls and just kind of like keep each other accountable and stuff like that. So without further ado, this is Logan Stoner. He's going to share his testimony today, and then maybe a story about me or us afterwards. So go ahead, Logan.
Yeah. Hey guys. So good to speak with you guys, the Heights students. I wish so desperately that I could be there with you guys, and hopefully sometime in the future after this whole pandemic gets over, I can plan a visit and come see you guys. I think that'd be so cool. But like Jim said, my name is Logan Stoner, and I'm just going to share a little bit about kind of what God has done in my life and where he has moved and worked in my life, and how I am a Christian today. So I want to start out, as I think many people do when they share their testimonies, and say that by the grace of God, I was able to be privileged with being born into a Christian home. So both my parents are very strong Christians who love the Lord. And so since I was in the womb of my mother, I have been going to church ever since, every single Sunday, every pretty much Wednesday night, for youth group, every church activity you could think of, the potlucks, the game nights, everything like that, we were there. And so that has just been such a blessing for me to be able to grow up in the church with such an incredible family to do that. And so I would say when I first officially accepted Jesus into my heart, I would say I was actually 3 years old, so very young. And I was at my grandma's house with my mom. And it was one of those things where we were just talking about certain things. And again, I'm only 3 years old, so I don't comprehend a whole lot. But she was like, talking about Jesus, and she's like, Logan, like, do you want to be saved? And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I do. And so like we said the prayer and all these things. But it was one of those things that, like, if my mom would have said, hey, like, do you want to go jump off a bridge? I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. So, one of those things where it really wasn't something that I did myself. I mean, I made the decision, I did pray, but I wasn't fully comprehending what I was doing. But like I said, I was at 3 years old, and then I kept going. all throughout my life, still going to church. I went to a public school district all K through 12. So I never went to a private Christian school, anything like that. So I was immersed into a secular setting within my school district and within certain friends. But God has definitely blessed me with always having incredible family members, like I said, and then friends who just love the Lord and have encouraged me in that. And so I'm going to jump, nothing too crazy, I guess you could say, happens for a good bit. But specifically going into middle school, I think was when you start becoming more of your own person. You start going away from your parents a little bit, not a whole lot, but you start making your own decisions in life and trying to figure out who you are as a person. And that's exactly what I did. I was trying to figure out, who is Logan? Who do I want to be aside from my parents? And how does that look like for me? And so there's a lot of questions with who, like I said, who am I? What is my identity? And I was a person, and still am, who I love people. I love being around people. I love interacting. I love playing soccer. I love music. So in school, was involved in everything I could possibly imagine. I did band. I did the Glee Club. I did the plays and musicals. I did soccer. And then in high school, I played volleyball. I also played a little bit of basketball, not a whole lot, baseball, but my main sport was soccer throughout middle school and high school. And so I just always surrounded myself with all these different things and trying to succeed at everything and do the best that I can at everything. And I put my identity, honestly, in all of those things and trying to be the best at everything that I could do. And for a lot of it, I was actually kind of successful in a lot of those things. So with soccer, I got to be a pretty good soccer player, and I was the captain of our soccer team in middle school. Going into high school, even, as a freshman, I got the lead in our school play. I was the student body president for 2 years. I just kept trying to achieve all these things, and a lot of them I was achieving. I was pretty popular in high school. I was even the homecoming king. So there's a lot of different things that I tried to be the best at and succeed, and I did. And I would consider myself, again, a Christian, and I always tried to give glory to God and try to remain humble. But with every single thing that I achieved, like getting the soccer captain, getting the lead in the school play, or being the president or homecoming king, every time I would feel that high of getting that and achieving that, but then I ultimately just felt a little empty. And I was like, well, now what? What else is there? So there was all this buildup, and I was like, I got to get to the next thing. I got to be this. I got to be that. But then when I did achieve that, I just felt low and empty. I was like, well, there surely has to be something more. And so I was always searching, always looking for something deeper, not knowing really that what I needed that whole entire time was a better, more personal relationship with Jesus. Like I said, I considered myself a Christian, and I did the good Christian things. I went to church. I did Bible studies. I was involved with Christian groups at school and stuff like that, but I didn't lean into what it meant for me personally to be a follower of Jesus. And so when that really took place, I was on a mission trip with my youth group, actually, and we went to New Jersey, and there was a big hurricane at that time. I think it was 2014, I want to say, the summer of 2014. And we went to a church with a bunch of other churches. There's like a ton of churches that went to this church that just got completely destroyed, and the whole town out in New Jersey was destroyed by this hurricane. So we went there just kind of help out, rebuild some things. And every night we would come back and reconvene with all the other youth groups, and we'd have this big speaker and worship and all these crazy things. It was really just an incredible time. And I don't know, it just felt like the speaker that was there that week, every single word that he said, every message just was like directed at me. And obviously it wasn't. He was speaking to hundreds of youth group kids, of middle schoolers and high schoolers. But it just seemed like everything he said, it was just directed at me. Like God was just really pointing out something. And something that you got to know, I love adventure. I love seeking the thrill and the energy of different things. So I got the chance in this church that we were rebuilding to do the roof, to do the ceiling actually on the inside. So I was really, really high up on this scaffolding, and I was, taking down insulation, putting up new insulation, and I was like crazy high up there. I don't know how high, but I love heights. So I was really high up. I didn't mind it. And there's this other guy that worked with the organization we were with, and me and him were taking out insulation, doing stuff like that. And I had a staple gun, was stapling stuff in, talking to him. And he was just like, Logan, like, getting to know me. He's like, Logan, who are you? And, I list off all these things. I'm like, well, I play soccer. I'm doing this at school. I'm this president. I'm in the plays. And he's like, no, like, who are you at the core? I like, I don't know, I guess I'm like a Christian. He's like, well, what does that mean? And he just kept pressing and drilling into me. He's like, what does it mean to be a Christian? Like, is it just going to church? Is it just being a good person? And after a lot of really hard conversations with this guy, I forget exactly what it was, but he said something and it just made me really, really think. And I was, the whole time I was working, and then like I said, I had the staple gun and I was putting it up. And as I was thinking about it, I guess my mind slipped and I shot a staple directly into my finger. And again, I was super high up at this point. And at that point, everything just went like crazy. I dropped the staple gun. I pulled the staple out. I had a glove on, so I pulled off the glove and there was blood everywhere. I don't want to get too much into details. I don't want to make anyone sick, and I just started crying. I just started bawling, not really because of the pain. It didn't really hurt that much, but just because I knew that I wasn't living my life for Jesus myself. I was living it because my parents took me to church, because it was the right thing to do. And so, I got down off the scaffolding. I got with my youth pastor and he's like, hey, like, what's going on? And then that was when, in the back of that old, broken down church, in their churchyard in the back, I was just talking to him and said, like, this is where I'm at with my youth pastor. And I just broke down and he prayed with me. And that's when I decided to dedicate my life to Jesus for myself, because it was something that I wanted to do and I wanted to be a follower of Christ. And then from that day on, it wasn't easy. Like I said, like, I went through high school and had all those things and kept trying to be, okay, like, who am I? I'm really trying to figure out my identity. But from that point on, I definitely had a better perspective of my identity is in Christ. And he's the one that defines who I am. He calls me a beloved child. He's forgiven me. He's offered me grace and love that I can't even imagine. And ever since then, it's been just my goal to lean into that identity of who I am, and then to offer that to everyone I come in contact with, just to be a light to everyone. And so a big part of that was working at our camp, as I think you guys might have heard from Jim. And that's where we really got to know each other. We did a leadership program together, and then we were counselors, and just really got to be the best friends that we are now. But that's just was a great outlet for me to grow in community with people like Jim, like so many others, where we just got to live in this fun environment at camp, at a summer camp, and just really champion each other on in Christ and push each other closer to him, and also spread the love of Jesus to these awesome kids. And so I did that for five summers, I think. I don't know, 5 or 6, I think for me. I think you did 6.
Yeah, I did 6 total, but
okay, yeah, right.
Yep.
And then you took a break, yeah. But yeah, so that's where we got to know each other, and just through that, my faith even grew even more, and I really got to lean into what does it mean for me to continue to walk into that. But I'd say just a big part of my testimony, I don't have, this big, huge, crazy conversion type thing. And I don't think you don't need to have that to have an powerful testimony. So mine is just me growing up in the church with Christian families, but then understanding that that's a decision I have to make at some point, and you guys have to make too, is that you have to decide that you're going to follow Jesus because you want to and you love him, not because your parents or your friends or anyone else says it's like the right thing to do, but because you truly love God. And that's the journey that I'm still on. I'm still daily deciding to wake up and say, I choose Jesus, and I want to fight and live and love like he does. So it hasn't always been easy, and there's a lot more that I could share. Like I said, whenever I come up and visit you guys, we'll have a great talk. But for the purpose of this little Zoom call, that's just kind of who I am and some of my testimony. So I didn't do my timer, Jim, so I don't know how long that took.
You're great. We can go a little longer. If you need to, we're at 12 and a half minutes.
Oh, right on the money, right?
Yeah. So do you
awesome.
want to end this out with some story, like a story about us or something, if you have one? If not,
yeah.
it's gonna hit you as soon as we hang up.
I know. There's so many. He asked me. He told me about this before we started, and I was like, I can't think of any. Guys, understand that he's my best friend. So the stories that we have, There's long lists. So to pick one is really hard. But one that we were actually talking about just the other day, and it just hit me like right now. So this was, I think, summer of 2017 when we were working at camp. We have another really good friend. Her name is Miranda, and us three were kind of a trio. We were best friends working together at camp and just doing great things. And the one time, I think was it during day camp when?
Yeah. I just realized which one you were saying. I literally just came up with one too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but.
So what happened was at day camp, it's called day camp, so the kids go home at night for that week because they're little itty bitty kids. So they went home and we're just hanging out at camp doing dumb stuff that we teenagers liked to do. And then it was the end of the night, and we loved watching like horror movies and like doing scary things and scaring people. So did we watch a scary movie that night?
No, I just remembered what night it was. It's the night we cooked the brownies.
Oh,
we were coming back and cooking the brownies.
Yes. Okay. So we were co-counselors, Jim and I, which that was the best week of camp because we were co-counselors. Like, we're by far the best. Just saying. So we were co-counselors. We're like, yo, we got to make brownies for these kids because we love them so much and we wanted to spoil them with sugar. So they were having the kids were going to sleep over for one night. So we planned this huge party for the kids, a dance party. We had brownies and everything. So we were getting that ready. And then, so we baked all the brownies, stuff like that. And then we were going back to the cabin. And Miranda, our other friend, she can be on edge and scared easily, so easily. And so I don't even know if we really planned this or not. But so we were just like walking her back to her cabin because she gets a little scared at night because the camp's kind of in the woods and it's a little scary maybe.
And it was on the way to our cabin.
Yeah, and she was alone in her cabin. No one else was with her, so it was just her. So, she's a little scared. So we're like, all right, we'll be these beefy men. We'll walk her back to her cabin.
Plus our cabin was right behind her, so we had to go that way anyway.
Right. Yeah, so we were going past it anyway. So yeah. I would say that we were nice guys, but we were really just going back to our own cabin.
The rest of the story, we weren't nice guys.
But regardless, we walked her back. And so the thing about the girl cabins at our camp, they have a front door and a back door, okay? And so obviously we go to the front door. We're like, all right, good night. Like, have a safe night. Blah, blah, blah. Like, don't let anyone scare you. Ooh. And she's like, stop, don't do that. We're just being dumb. And then I guess she goes in, and I don't know what struck us. We're like, bro, like, we got to scare her. And so we run quickly to the back of the cabin, and there's, again, a door. It's more of like an escape door if there's like a fire or something. Like, it's not.
Yeah, they hardly ever used it.
Right, yeah, you don't actually use this door. And so we go back there, and we just start pounding on the door as loud as we could, just like banging on it. And you could hear her screaming and everything. And of course she comes and tries to open the door, and then we ran away and she wasn't there. And then she comes out, and was she like trying to find us or something? I forget exactly what all
the
happened.
whole story. But...
Yeah. I just know that we scared the crap out of her, and it was just hilarious. And there's so many other stories from camp about stuff being like haunted and like seeing weird things, and so like we were just playing off of that, but it was a fun time. So that's just a story that came to my mind.
It was also late at night, and we were asleep. And the thing that if you ever work at camp, you'll find out you get sleep deprived very easily. You hardly get any sleep. So and the littlest thing of us knocking would be scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is probably like 3 or so in the morning, I'm betting. Like it was
yeah.
For everyone to say. But that's one memory of literally probably millions. So again, when I come up, we'll share more memories, I promise.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Logan. We're gonna go on to our next thing. We're gonna play our game. So you guys are gonna see what that is in a minute. All right, guys, so now we're going to play a game. That's a variation of the game we played on our third night of youth group. And that is the game we played already was Taylor Swift or Lamentation. Was the quote I read from Taylor Swift, or was it from the Book of Lamentations? And we found out that no matter how well you thought you knew Taylor Swift, it was very similar to Lamentations. So we're gonna play that again. We had a lot of fun. Hardly anyone got any right. We found out that two were both. And tonight we're going to play Justin Bieber or Jeremiah. Do you think this is a Justin Bieber lyric or from the prophet Jeremiah in the book Jeremiah? I'm going to be playing along with you. So play along with me as well. And let me know how many you got right. Did you beat me? Did you get the one we just said right? Let me know. All right. So we're going to jump right into it. And prophet Jeremiah or Justin Bieber. Where would I be if you didn't believe? Where would I be if you didn't believe? I feel like that might be Jeremiah, although Justin Bieber does have a song called Believe. We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. All right, that was from the song Believe. I was wrong. Did you get that right? Do you know Justin Bieber better than me? Okay. When will you stop running? When will you stop running? I feel like that's the prophet Jeremiah. I was right, from Jeremiah 2:25. When will you stop running? Has anyone heard of anything as strange as this? I feel like that would be a weird song lyric, so I'm going to guess Jeremiah. It was Jeremiah 2:10. All right, so we've had two Jeremiahs in a row now. I have two right. My heart is a vacant house. My heart is a vacant house. I'm going to guess Justin Bieber. What do you guys think? From No Sense, Justin Bieber. All right, so I now have 3 right. How many you guys got? I'm wishing I could have just washed away. Prophet Jeremiah or Justin Bieber? Wishing I could just wash away. I'm gonna guess Jeremiah. It was Justin Bieber. I was wrong. Is anyone sorry for doing wrong? I'm gonna guess Justin Bieber. Oh, it was Jeremiah. Man, Justin Bieber got that song Sorry, so I thought I was gonna learn from my mistakes the first one, where I knew the song was Believe and I went the wrong way. I am tired of giving you another chance. I am tired of giving you another chance. Ooh. I'm gonna guess Justin Bieber. Again, I was wrong. Jeremiah 15:6. All right. The heart can see what's invisible to the eye. I feel like we haven't had Justin Bieber in a while, and I keep guessing Justin Bieber, so I'm going to continue. See Justin Bieber. Yeah, from the song Trust. All right. I am all alone, and my joy has turned to moping. I'm going to guess Jeremiah. Let's see. Oh, no. From Where Are You Now? Man, that's difficult. Haven't I had enough pain already? Haven't I had enough pain already? Is that Jeremiah or is it Justin Bieber? I'm gonna go Jeremiah. Hey, and I got that one right. Okay. All right, and that is our game for today. I got 5 right. I believe there were 10. So 50%, that's not great. Let me know what you got. Did you beat me? Probably. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, we're gonna move on to our devotion. So we're going to just jump right into our devotion. Let me pull it up. That will be in the comments below, or in the description below will be our uh, our plan that you can join on and be reading along with us. We're closing in on finishing it, and we will be starting a new one as soon as we do that. All right. Yes, we are on day 22 of 30. So we're on day 22 of 30. So next, Saturday, next, or 2 Saturdays from now, no, next Thursday will be our last day of this. Next Thursday will be our last day of this plan, and I will introduce what our next plan is after that next Wednesday, so we can start on that Friday. So yeah, feel free to jump on and join with us. It will be linked below if you would like to jump on with us. All right. So today's devotion comes from 1 John 2:12 through 17. I am writing to you, dear children, because your sins have been forgiven on the account of his name. I am writing to you, fathers, because you know him who is from the beginning. I am writing to you, young men, because you have overcome the evil one. I am writing to you, dear children, because you know the Father. I write to you, fathers, because you know him who is from the beginning. That okay. I am right to you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of God lives in you, and you have overcome the evil one. Do you not love the world or anything in the world? If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. For everyone in the world, the lust of flesh, the lust of eyes, and pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. And like I said, that is from 1 John 2:12 through 17. Okay, listening to others who know Jesus. So we're gonna start with like a little story. At one of our church meetings, we talk about um, how there weren't many leaders in the church. We spent over hours working through many ways to fix this problem. Everyone gave their input except one of the older leaders. He was silent the whole time. In the end, he quietly advised, "We've forgotten Jesus." Answered to our leadership issue. Because before we were doing anything, we must first ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers. And that is from Luke 10, that little part at the end. We have been looking for a problem in the wrong ways. We have spent the rest of our time praying that God will send out workers and provide the right leaders for our church. Christian author C.S. Lewis once said, "The next best thing to being wise is to live in the circle of those who are. It echoes Proverbs 1:5. Let the wise listen and add their learning. The older leader's commitment is just one example of the value of wise people who know him who is from the beginning. And that comes from First John 2:13-14. And have um, and have spent time reading the Bible and talking with God, we should never be afraid to ask for advice from him. Those who have known Jesus for a long time and then listen to it, uh, they are God's gift to us and our churches. We don't need to work things out alone. Our church family is here for us. And then thinking it over, whom do you look up to in your church? What are 3 things you can learn from them? And that could be, if you go to the Christian school, who are maybe 3 teachers you look up to? Or at our church, who are some people you look up to? It could be me. If you attend our church on Sundays, it's probably Pastor Joe as well, and there's a few others, very godly people in our church that you can learn things from. If you ever have questions you want to talk to me, feel free to reach out to me at any time. You can message me on Instagram. You can text me, whatever. Call me whenever you want. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you just have anything you want to talk about. And at the end of this devotion, it's got a few people you can learn from. It's got a few articles. There's a YouTube video and different articles you can read if you want to learn a little more. Based on today's reading, what is God revealing to you? Go ahead and you can look back on this. And like I said, the link is down below. And just kind of ponder on that for a little bit. All right, so that was our devotion from the week, or from today. You can continue with us, like I said, with that link down below. All right, so thank you very much for joining us. Once again, thanks to Logan for sharing a little bit of his testimony. If you have any questions, I'm sure he'll feel free to answer. If you just let me know, I can ask him and put that in next week's video. If you want to be the one sharing with us, like last week we had Wes, and that was awesome. That you can do it that way, where you just send me a video, or you can do what I've done with the other guests, where we did a Zoom call and I recorded it from there. Whatever you want to do, let me know. I'll probably be reaching out to some of you, asking if you would be willing to share a little bit of your story. Or if you have, it doesn't even have to be a testimony. If you have a few thoughts or a topic you want to talk about, or maybe you just have a topic you want me to talk about, as our time doing online youth group seems to be extending. If there's also any prayer requests you have, please let me know. I would love to know how we can be praying for you. I am praying for you guys, and I can't wait till we can hang out again. I've just can't wait to see you guys again. God bless, and have a great rest of your week.